What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Commanders Uncovered. I'm your host, Insider Debo. Welcome back. Week 1 in the books. Got some stuff to talk about from the Commanders. There was some good, there was some bad. Commanders fell 37-20 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not much other to say than, there was some good things that came from the offense and some promise shown by the rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And then on the other side of the ball, there was not a lot of good from the defense. So let's get right into it, baby. Roll the intro. Just starting off by looking at the box score. Jane Daniels, most part, 17 of 24, 184 yards. No touchdowns through the air, but 16 attempts for 88 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. A lot of his scrambling ability was on display, and really love to see that. The O-line didn't hold up great. The O-line had a better game than I thought they were going to have. I thought the Bucs were really going to sack Jaden Daniels a little bit more than they actually did. But the O-line, they played solid. Jaden Daniels, like I said, a lot of the scrambling ability was on display, and his ability to escape pressure and use his legs, which I talked about it a lot, are a serious X factor in this offense. Led the team in rushing attempts. 88 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. It was good to see. It was good to see Jaden Daniels do that. It was good to see him play mistake-free football through the air. Not any balls that were thrown into harm's way, and not many balls thrown downfield either. So the running back duo played a good game. Brian Robinson, 12 for 40 and a touchdown. Also had 3 catches on 4 targets for 49 yards. Eckler, not much work in the running game, but had 4 catches for 52 yards as a receiver. Had some nice catch and runs here and there. Eckler is so damn solid in the backfield and pass pro and as a receiver out of the backfield. And Brian Robinson has proven time and time again that he can be a receiver out of the backfield as well, and he can be damn solid at it as well. 12 for 40 and a touchdown. He had the nice touchdown at the goal line where he powered through some contact and got into the end zone. But outside of that, man, the pass catchers were the ball was spread out a little bit. You see Ertz with 4 targets, McCaffrey 3 targets, McLaurin 4, Zacchaeus 3. But yeah, Ertz 3 catches, 28 yards, McCaffrey 3 for 18, McLaurin 2 for 17. Just not great. And I would love. I know it's hard, and sometimes the game plan and the game flow and what the defense is giving you, it doesn't go that way. But love to see Jane Daniels get Terry McLaurin some more targets. Had some targets downfield that he missed them on, which I will get to. And those should get hit later on in the season. But yeah, got to get him the football more. As far as the defense went, Baker Mayfield just torched the Commanders secondary, 24 for 30, 289 and 4 touchdowns. Man, he looked so damn good, and he was just doing whatever he wanted to the Commanders secondary out there, dotting us up. Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had a great game plan. Getting Mike Evans involved, getting Chris Godwin involved out of the slot, Rashad White as a receiver out of the backfield. Jalen McMillan had the touchdown late, the rookie, on just a blown coverage, wide open. So, a lot of growing pains with this defense. There was 1 sack, and it was Cleveland Farrell. So, solid there. Bobby Wagner had 3 TFLs. Nothing really much else. Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen didn't show up in the box score. I think they played fine. in the middle as interior guys and just clogged it up there. But yeah, need to see more out of the Commanders secondary for sure. And a lot of growing pains are going to happen with this team and with the defense as they try to gel. And have a feeling that early on, especially, there's going to be some teams that put up some points on the Commanders. So we'll see. We'll see how they respond. Another thing I like to look at is the snap counts for the offense and the defense as well. You can see here, all the offensive linemen played 100% of the snaps besides Cornelius Lucas, who actually got the start over Brandon Coleman, the rookie. Brandon Coleman was actually listed as the starter at offensive tackle, and Cornelius Lucas drew the start and played 76% of the snaps, with Brandon Coleman only seeing 14 snaps on offense. Uh, um, no other surprise on the O-line there. McLaurin, 81% of snaps. Ertz, 71%. Luke McCaffrey played the second most snaps at wide receiver, so he is wide receiver 2 right now. Played 36 snaps. Brian Robinson, 33 snaps. Austin Eckler, 31. I was expecting a little more snaps in favor of Brian Robinson. I get it. You're losing the football game, and you need, you're throwing the ball a little more, and Austin Eckler's got to be on the field for those snaps. So a little closer in this game. Robinson 56%, Eckler 53%, 33 to 31, basically a 50-50 split for those guys. John Bates played 28 snaps, a lot of 12 personnel for the Commanders, a lot of 2-receiver, 12 personnel sets. Zacchaeus only 26 snaps, and then Ben Sinnott only played 13 snaps on offense. Would like to see him get involved a little bit more. We know how dynamic he is in the blocking game and in the pass game. I feel like he could be an added weapon for Jaden Daniels, not only in the pass game but in the run game as well. He can get out and block, and he's pretty good at it. So yeah, nothing really crazy there. I mean, no surprises other than Cornelius Lucas getting the start over Brandon Coleman. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Benjamin St-Juste played every snap. Bobby Wagner played every snap. Mike Sanders still played damn near every snap. Quan Martin, Frankie Louvu was out there a lot. Jeremy Chin out there a lot. Allen and Payne, they're not going to play the whole game, especially when you're losing like that late in the game. Emmanuel Forbes only 35 snaps, 55%. Edge rushers, Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Farrell, 38 and 35 snaps respectively. Noah Igbenogany got some time at corner, playing 28 snaps, and yeah, just some other guys who got some snaps here and there. Jamin Davis only played 13 snaps, which I thought was kind of weird. I feel like he should be playing more. I know he's making a transition, playing some edge and not some inside linebacker anymore, but he played a solid game on Sunday. He flew around. He played very limited snaps, but he flew around and he made some plays when he was out there, and it was noticeable in the 13 snaps that he played. I thought he played more, honestly, but what are you gonna do? Not a great day for this unit at all. So yeah, we'll get into it, but not a great day for this unit. Second order of business, Emmanuel Forbes, a second-year corner out of Mississippi State, is going to undergo surgery tomorrow. He tore his UCL in his thumb on Sunday. Rappaport saying Forbes will fix an issue that would have been a problem all season, so it's good to see him get that fixed up. You never want to see guys get injured. And Forbes has definitely had his fair share of struggles. That's probably sugarcoating it a little bit. Last year, as a rookie, he struggled mightily. On Sunday, he struggled a bit here and there, and he's just losing depth at the corner position is not good, especially with how bad the secondary was on Sunday. Noah Igbenogany was the next man up on the outside. Him and St-Juste will continue to play on the outside, with Mike Sanders still playing in the slot nickel position. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Torn UCL in the thumb. It's good that he's getting surgery and getting it fixed right away. But young guy, I mean, it's tough to have an injury this early in your career, and you never want to see injuries. So Hope Emmanuel Forbes gets well soon. Another thing that I talked about here, 2024 true pass set grade for week 1 per PFF. Commanders were 9th in true pass set grade. Now, I don't know if it's skewed due to the amount that Jane Daniels scrambled and the amount of positive plays that they generated by Jaden Daniels scrambling. But I mean, for the most part, honestly, the O line held up. It's not a great unit on paper, but they played pretty solid. And Jaden Daniels, when he was pressured, had the ability to escape that pressure and use his legs and extend plays and move the ball downfield in that way. So it's going to be a huge point of emphasis moving forward for Jaden Daniels to not be afraid to run. And as the season goes on and on, I mean, teams are going to be keying in on his legs, putting spies on him, putting contains on him, forcing him to step up in the pocket. So you really need Jaden Daniels to learn how to read those things and learn how to slide. I mean, there were a few times in the game where his helmet's coming off and he's taking some hits. There was a unnecessary roughness penalty on him that was called on a defender who went in to hit him. And man, it's just I held my breath every time because you see the injuries that he sustained in college and some of the hits that he took at LSU last season and the year before. It's and you see some of the hits that he took at LSU. It's just it's tough. It's tough to watch him lose his helmet, and it's tough to watch him get hit around a little bit. And even on the broadcast, I mean, they were talking about him not being able to slide and how he's tumbling. So it's got to be a point of emphasis to really keep him healthy in that way. And I know he's going to scramble a lot, and he's just got to stay healthy, man, because the injuries are the only thing that is going to mess up his season. Is him getting hurt on a scramble or him getting hit in the head with a concussion, and that there's endless possibilities. So would love to see him stay healthy. Commanders O line held up decently well. Jaden Daniels escaped a lot of pressure with scrambling. So what are you gonna do? His legs are such an X factor that you can't take that away from him. So decent day overall for the O line, which I thought was going to be a huge problem and a bigger problem than it was. There was one sack where Daniels got hit and lost the ball, but the ball was recovered. So what are you going to do? Hopefully the unit keeps improving as they gel together throughout the season and build more chemistry. But we'll see. We'll see if this holds up for the rest of the year. Next point of emphasis here is Dan Quinn talking about the development of Luke McCaffrey, and you love to see a head coach talk about a rookie receiver like this. I know Luke McCaffrey right away isn't really gonna show a lot of things on tape. And next point of emphasis is Dan Quinn talking about Luke McCaffrey and his development throughout the week. He said, "I think we're seeing it go like this," and he went like this with the plain gesture with his hand, indicating that McCaffrey's only getting better. Um, Dan Quinn talking about he's only going to get more reps and playing time moving forward. His confidence is growing in the slot. He can use some of that strength and work guys through. And honestly, that's huge. And what I talked about a lot in the last episode was the Commanders really lacking people who can run after the catch outside of Terry McLaurin, who really isn't known for that. He's more of a deep guy, but Luke McCaffrey having a guy in the slot who can really work and is strong and in his routes and can finish runs and can really break tackles and bounce off guys and run after the catch. It's huge. It's huge to have on a team that has guys that struggle to do that. So for a rookie quarterback, especially throwing it short, running it long, that's got to be something that needs to happen for the Commanders, considering the amount of short passes and RPOs that they throw. Jaden Daniels not really throwing the ball downfield much, but I mean, we'll see. Luke McCaffrey is going to get more playing time. When Noah Brown, who did not play in week 1, starts getting into the mix, we'll see how the receiver usage changes, if at all. In 12 personnel, we'll see who the receivers are out there. But it's very encouraging to have Dan Quinn, the head coach, talk about a rookie receiver like this, and really need Luke McCaffrey to kind of use that ability of running after the catch and being strong in the slot. and just helping Jaden Daniels, throwing it short, running it long, could be huge for this team and could create more explosive plays. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about when talking about Kliff Kingsbury and kind of the style of play that he wants Jaden Daniels to play and run this offense and how he's going to call the game. Jaden Daniels threw short of the sticks on a league low -7.8 point. Jaden Daniels threw short of the sticks on a league low -7.8 yards on third downs yesterday. The horizontal rate has never been more back. That's just funny. Only 12.5% of the pass attempts for Daniels were 10 yards or further downfield, the lowest rate in the league so far in week 1. NFL average was close to 30%. So, I mean, numbers don't lie. You can kind of see it right there how they're having trouble throwing the ball downfield. Not many deep threats outside of McLaurin. And just a way to keep Jaden Daniels upright and get the ball out quick, get the ball out of his hands quick, and just with an O line that is unproven and has some question marks, it's important for Daniels to get the ball out quick to kind of help himself too and not take as many hits. So we'll see if this rate holds up the rest of the year, and if Kliff Kingsbury changes anything in terms of the offense and the downfield passing attack. But I would assume early on, especially, that this rate could go up slightly, but not much downfield passing for this team, which really could hinder their ceiling, um, which really could, put an effect on their ceiling. And it's just tough to win football games like that, especially if the defense is struggling the way it did in week 1. So we'll see. We'll see. And then the little things here. I talked about, needing to get Terry McLaurin as involved as possible without forcing it to him. This is a ball that has to be thrown from Jane Daniels. Shout out to Deuce as well for the film here. McLaurin's coming in motion. We're in 12. 2 tight ends over here, 2 receivers at the top, and pistol. Man free here from the Bucs. So we're man up here. We're man up here. Free safety um, is the lone cover player, and this is going to be a vertical. So Winfield's going to roll to the vertical. It's a play action shot. McLaurin's going to run a deep over to the other sideline, probably 30 yards down the field, and he wins. He wins right now. He wins right now. Clean pocket from Daniels. This ball has to be thrown. Winfield rolling over to the vertical over here. Look at that. I mean, he has no pressure. This corner is caught up over here with the tight end route combo. McLaurin, this ball has to be thrown. And for some reason, Daniels just doesn't look at it. Doesn't look at McLaurin on the deep over. He progresses too fast to the vertical and ends up taking off and running. But this is definitely a ball that has to be thrown. Look at McLaurin. Wins right away. Uses his speed. He's open right now. This ball could be let go right now. And it's a touchdown. So, I mean, really, really tough one to miss there. And then the other one here, McLaurin at the top, just misses him. Just misses him. And you can see here, the safety rolls over to this player over here. This corner gets beat, but this corner over here, he should not get beat like this. McLaurin just scoots by him. Daniels lets it go early, like when McLaurin hasn't even beat him, and McLaurin ends up beating him. Just missed him. Just missed him. And as they get their chemistry going throughout the year, that throw will be made. But just 2 unfortunate misses for McLaurin there. Just getting him involved in that way, taking the deep shots. That first one has to be thrown. I love these 2 play calls. But just trying to get Terry the ball and let him do what he does best is very important. So I would like to see him hit on those. But as the season goes on, I have no doubt that Jane Daniels will make that throw. He threw the deep ball extremely efficiently in college, and that's the best part of his passing game. So, and then just talking about the rushing attempts for Jane Daniels, a lot of these were scrambles, but most rushing attempts by a Washington quarterback in a single game ever was Jane Daniels' first career game as a pro. A lot of scrambling going on. I would like to see Jane Daniels. I know the legs are a huge X factor, and I love him running. It really creates game-breaking potential with his speed and agility, but trusting his guys down the field, like the throw to McLaurin, trusting your concepts, trusting your O-line a little bit. I know it's hard to sometimes, but when you have a clean pocket, stepping up, progressing, going through your reads is very important in this league to have success. But I would love to see him continue to run, but he needs to do it in a way that protects himself. So it's hard to kind of measure this because on one hand, you love Jaden Daniels running and he has game-breaking potential with his legs. On the other hand, you really want to see him make some of the throws that he should have made, and give himself a chance. Like too quickly sometimes getting off his reads and tucking it and running it. Other times, making good decisions. But he played mistake-free football for the most part. So we'll see how this progresses on as the year goes on. Like I said, a lot of these rushing attempts were scrambles, so nothing really you can do about that. And it was a huge reason as to why the Commanders were able to get in the red zone at sometimes and create positive plays. So there's got to be more though. It can't just be relying on Jane Daniels scrambling to create positive plays. There's got to be more in the passing game. So. And then looking ahead to week 2, home opener for the Commanders playing the New York Giants. Commanders are a 2-point favorite. Over/under is 43. 1 p.m. kick on Sunday. This is a game that the Commanders are going to win, I think. We'll see how the game plays out. There are a lot of things that I think the Commanders can exploit here. Last 5 matchups, the Giants have won 3 of them. There was a tie, and then the last time the Commanders beat the Giants was January 9th of 2022. So, very, very interesting. But you can see some of the ranks here from week 1. Commanders allowed the second most points in week 1 after Carolina. And yeah, it's probably gonna be a close game as divisional games do usually be, especially between two teams who have a lot of question marks. But kind of looking at the matchup, Daniel Jones struggled in week 1. We know the story about Daniel Jones and his struggles. But again, this Commanders defense could struggle as well. Uh, the secondary and no Emmanuel Forbes. We're going to see Noah Igbenogany out there a lot. And the Giants do have some talented playmakers at receiver. Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 underrated guys. Malik Neighbors, electrifying rookie. Wan'Dale Robinson drew double-digit targets in week 1, albeit with a negative game script. But we'll see how the secondary holds up against the Giants. I mean, not much to that Giants passing game. So uh, I hope that we create some turnovers in the passing game, getting some picks. Hopefully Benjamin St-Juste bounce back from that tough week 1. Mike Sanders still is going to be out there a lot, and he's a dog, so he's probably going to be matched up with Wan'Dale in the slot quite a bit. We'll see how he holds up. On the other side of the ball, the Commanders' O-line is a huge question mark here. A very, very good pass rush for the Giants. Dexter Lawrence was all over the field in week 1. Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, the talented edge rushers there. It's going to be tough, and Jane Daniels might be inclined to scramble a little bit more here in this one. Hopefully he doesn't run 18 times or whatever it was in week 1 like he did, but hopefully we can create separation in the secondary, and hopefully we can get the run game going a little bit. Uh, Aaron Jones had a really good day in week 1 against the Giants, running the football and being a receiver out of the backfield. So Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, I'm looking out for them. I'm looking for Terry McLaurin in the matchup with Deontay Banks. McLaurin in a matchup who he should really win a lot, and Jane Daniels giving him a chance and just trusting his concepts and throwing the ball downfield a little bit more. So we'll see. I mean, both secondaries are bad. I could see this game going over 43 points. Um, Commanders are a 2-point favorite at home, and the home opener, Jane Daniels' first game at home. So hopefully he shows the fans at home what he's freaking made of against this Giants team, and the Commanders get a W. So I'm excited, and that'll do it. We'll talk about it. We'll see how the Commanders played in week 2 against the Giants on the next time. Uh, Hopefully, Commanders go out there and get a W, get their first win of the year in front of the home fans. Jaden Daniels shows a lot of promise, and defense holds up a little bit. Defense creates some turnovers. We hit some shots downfield on offense. All is good. All is good. That's what I'm expecting. Thanks for tuning in. I was your host, Insider Debo. Commanders, we'll be talking about them getting a W next week on Commanders Uncovered. Thank you.